This is probably a verse that you've seen, in memes or on posters or those like wooden plaques that people hang in their house. But he says, finally, brothers and sisters, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable or excellent or praiseworthy in any way, think about such things. This element is called the passion for truth. And I'll start that one with a question. Are we willing to cut off automatic negative thoughts before we let them take root? Because we're so passionate about what's true, not just what we feel, right? And I get it. I get it from the psychology standpoint. Like those of you who wrestle with stuff like this, I know intrusive and automatic negative thoughts, they're just they're there. But truth can unwind those. That when they hit, we need to take the moment and go, is that true? And if we can't discern if it's true, God, is that true? And I'm not going to allow that thought to root. I'm not going to allow it to consume my energy, my emotions, until I know whether it's true. See, if we develop and we feed our minds things that help us organize and manage our thoughts, rather than be a slave to how we feel, then that starts to help us be able to manage them as they come in. Let me say it this way. If our thoughts resemble a Facebook, a Twitter, an Instagram, Snap, or TikTok feed, then what we've been conditioning our minds for is chaos. Because it's just a lot of random information, constantly changing gears, never stopping, always something else there. And if that's your mindset, that's where your mind operates. That's not just a psychological malady. Your brain is somewhat what they call plastic. It is shapeable. And you can teach it to function differently. But it starts with a mindset that says, I have a passion for what is true. In order to rewire, you have to have something, a stake in the ground, a fixed point that you can say, this is true. And then you can start to work things around that, dismissing thoughts that don't fit, accepting things that do, and literally rebuilding the way that you think. Another way of approaching a passion for truth is, do we take the time to actually know what is true? And I know in the last several years with the pandemic and the way our politics and everything's going, it's been really hard because there's so many experts willing to tell us a whole bunch of information. And we don't have the expertise and we don't have the connections to actually test all the time whether or not it's true. But do we even make the effort? Sometimes we get comfortable with just listening to certain voices. God forbid that you should ever listen to Gilbert or me alone and never test anything that we say. You should test it. You should learn for yourself in Scripture. Is this true? I don't know Greek. Well, there's plenty of tools out there that actually can show you the Greek word. The only thing you need to be careful of is people who have legitimately departed from the truth and they use it to try and mislead people. But that takes time to learn who those people are, where those sources are, what perspectives they have, and why they have them. We just don't like to do it because it takes time, and we have so much information. So a passion for truth means not only am I going to work on my mental framework, but also am I willing to do the work to figure out what is actually true. And one other point on that, what is true isn't always comfortable. See, one thing I don't want us to get out of coming to this mindset is, when Paul says, whatever is good, whatever is right, whatever is excellent and praiseworthy or admirable in any way, sometimes we're like, okay, flowers and roses and unicorns, and that's kind of where we go with it, right? It's whatever's good. But what is true is not always comfortable. What is true can be downright painful, which takes us back to element number one. It may be pruning. What is true in our culture right now is that we're divided. And it's been true for a long time. See, when Paul says whatever is good, whatever is right, whatever is true, we think what's nice. Well, nice is drugs. Nice is this place where everybody's like, hey, man, nothing matters. Woo. We're just killing the pain. We're surviving. That's not what Paul's saying. Paul's saying, yes, whatever is good, right, excellent, and praiseworthy, celebrate those things, but we also need to be grounded in what is true, because if we're grounded in what is true, we can see those things and we can lean into those things so that more good comes about rather than getting stuck.